Actually, a part of Jeopardy last night. It's Celebrity Jeopardy. And last night, are you watching any of this?
No.
I don't know if people care about Jeopardy. I watch Jeopardy pretty regularly. I kind of fell off over the last couple of weeks, but Gwen was watching it.
I watch a lot of TV when I get off work. I'll catch up on some sports stuff that I like to watch, but then I usually have either I got my podcast or my weekly shows that I run, so I don't watch a lot of TV right after work.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was Celebrity Jeopardy, and they're pretty far into it. But last night it was Rachel Dratch from Saturday Night Live,
Love her.
Macaulay Culkin, and Becky Lynch. You know who Becky Lynch is?
Yeah.
Irish, super hot. She's like the highest paid female WWE. She flopped hard. Like somebody said she set a record. She was the first person ever in Jeopardy to give 0 correct responses in the first 2 rounds. I mean, she's fun to look at.
She's a wrestler. She's not a genius.
Rachel Dratch. Well, didn't make her a dummy, though, either. I mean,
but she's got other things. Did they ask her any wrestling questions?
I didn't see that. I got in there for double Jeopardy. Rachel Dratch ended up winning, but Macaulay Culkin got one of the daily doubles here.
Here's your clue in U.S. world capitals. This Ohio city is the rubber capital of the world and the hometown of NBA icon LeBron James.
What is Akron?
He's from Akron, yes. You had
Quit Ohio. Now, granted, I think they were really giving them some softballs there on Celebrity Jeopardy, so
Becky Lynch still didn't answer.
Didn't get
questions.
it. No, she's doing fine. I guess I didn't realize. You know, I've heard of Becky. I'm familiar with Becky Lynch, even though I'm not like a WWE diehard. Like, I know the main names, right? But I guess I didn't realize she's the highest paid female star. She makes $3 million a year. That's a lot of money. I guess I just thought that the guys in WWE were getting paid way more. Like, I read that Roman Reigns is the highest paid guy in the WWE, and he makes $5 million a year. The money that WWE pulls in, I thought that these people were making way more money. I thought they were making like 8 figures a year. Again, that's nothing to sneeze at, but I guess I didn't realize that they were making single-digit millions from WWE. But yeah, Becky Lynch, fun to watch, but boy, she flopped hard. Rachel Dratch killed it.
And maybe it was a shoot.
What's that?
Like, she planned on doing that. Like, it was scripted like WWE is.
I see. No, she seemed really...
she sold it.
When she got
Sold it.
When she got a couple right, she was really excited. She got, applause from the audience. But the rest of the time...
How you can tell she knows what she's doing. Because if you...
She's playing to the crowd.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, she was just watching. Hey, Smoogie.
Hey, sup, guys?
Boy, I think Smoogie was going to be a chick. If there's one thing you can say about this show, we don't have enough Smoogies.
Never know what's coming. Yeah,
Nope.
Smoogie. Just call me Smoogie.
I just did.
That's dark right now, so hate the show.
Thank you.
I wanted to share my story. You were talking about D-pics, and I recently came across my first ever received. It was an AOL email for back in 2000 that I had printed, and it was tucked away amongst other memories and high school stuff that I had saved, and talk about priceless.
Was it in black and white, Smoogie?
It was color. Okay, check it. Color, 4 pictures. We've got full frontal shorts on, full frontal shorts down, but you can still, like, they're down to your knees. Like, just pull them all the way off, boys.
Was this an unsolicited D-pic?
No. I knew the gentleman. He was off at college, had a girlfriend, whatever.
I like that you called him a gentleman. That's very diplomatic of you.
Gentleman with a girlfriend.
Yeah, all right, gentleman.
Smoogie.
Yeah.
Sus.
He was cheating respectfully.
Respectfully, and opposed with just kind of like holding, and then also
a shampoo bottle.
I got the full back, just the butt pick.
Yeah.
Hole? Spread cheeks.
So it's even better, boys. Boys.
Was he
for
spreading
it.
cheeks? I was gonna say no girl wants that. That's like a pound cake thing. They're showing pound cake. They're not showing Smoogie.
No, don't go there. Yeah. So, he's of course like, send me pics. And back then, computers didn't have cameras on them. And I said so. And a couple of days later, I got a delivery of a webcam.
Wow, this guy, he was investing in his future with you. Were you, how did you stumble back across this picture? Was it in a storage bin somewhere?
Yep, going through totes of high school memorabilia and different things that, I had saved over the years. And yeah, that's priceless. I want to reach out to him. I'm Facebook friends with him. I hope he would get a laugh, but I don't know that if he would be offended. He is married to the girl at the time. And,
Oh, he's married to her.
Amazing.
Yeah. And shoot, I lost my train of thought. I never sent him any pictures because he was living in the frat house. I know.
Right. Those are going to get shared.
Right. So you took his webcam, but never sent him back any pics.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Smoogie's out there getting it done.
All right, Smoogie.
Printed them out.
Yeah,
That's bold.
Test out that Instagram, what do you call it? Vanish mode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Smoogie's what? But Smoogie's 40 now, right?
I'm 40. Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Lady never discloses. Tisk for asking.
I didn't ask. I told. You're 40.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Are you 40? This is 2008.
No, she said 2000.
Oh, 2000.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, you're my age. Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't no shame in that game. Okay, good. Listen, thank you for dipping in, Smoogie.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. There's Smoogie out in Stark County.
Printed them out.
Sure.
See, I haven't gone that far. I have them like my Dungeon of D's on my phone, but like I don't have a.
No, but if all you had, but this was before cameras were on phones. If you were in that time, you'd have a binder full of printed up D pics, wouldn't you?
I would make a coffee table book out of it. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. If I just print out
The
all the
printer,
ones-
a dot matrix would have been going all night. Like, his mom would be like, "What are you doing?" Nothing, Mom.
You got to rip the sides off.
the little holes in the
That's really not a bad idea.
I'm printing up my homework, Mom.
If I wanted to free up some space on my phone, I just put a coffee table book of all the D's. So I get closure, and they still live on. Wow, yeah, that's a good idea. But no,
What is going on down there?
Hush, Bob, doing my homework.
Nothing. I spent $5,000 on paper this month.
I got a midterm.
It's the ink. It's the ink that kills you. Because I remember
Got a midterm.
I was printing off pictures back in the day and going through ink, and my mom's like, we go through so much ink in this house. I'm like, well, you got a lot of kids and got a lot of work to do for school, and then like years later, she's like, wait a second, Bill never did his homework.
Yeah, right? It was the only time he was a paperwork guy.
Jack pictures.
You buy your own petard, Bill.
I hated
Hey,
paperwork.
it was too late. It was too late then. I was already on the other side.
She's like, do you know how much money I've spent on cyan this month alone? We're just burning through. Now these printers they have, if you don't use their ink, they'll like shut it down, right?
Yeah.
It's making people mad. Like,
What do you mean if you don't use their ink, they'll shut it down?
well, like all these like Wi-Fi connected printers or something. These people are pissed at these companies
Like if you
now.
don't use their brand of ink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
thing?
They'll be like, nope,
it is now.
it is.
Man,
Yeah, because these companies are fighting tooth and nail for market share. So they're like, they cut the customer completely out of it. They're like, what are you going to do? And they're like, buy another printer? Yeah, well, that company does the same thing.
I print all my stuff here. Sorry, guys.
Here.
Sorry, it's all. iHeart don't pay me enough. I'm printing out all my papers here.
Uh-huh.
So if you see me running frantically because I just printed out a picture, mind your business.
Mind your business. Pound Cake's printing up D pics here at work. Could you imagine that?
Right.
Somebody's
Yeah.
standing there
I sent
back
it
at
to the
TAM
wrong
waiting.
printer.
Right. Yeah.
Like, wait, I'm not supposed to go to the break room one, not TAM.
Oh, wrong one.
They're supposed to get breaking news and they have all the files.
Yep.
Wait, where did this come from?
Bloom Daddy got your D pics. Tom Moore is walking around trying to figure out what's going on. What is this, Florida?
I just got it.
Yeah, thank you. Satellite imagery of Florida. Oh, boy.
It's really hot down there, isn't it? Where are all those spots?
Spots?
I'm just kidding.
I think that if Dick from Dayton ever puts out an album with the Kettering Banjo Society, if he ever goes solo, he should call his album Dick Picks
There you go.
because he's playing the banjo.
That's good.
Something to do there. They are selling kegs of Fireball at Costco. Have you seen these? Just in time for the holidays.
Exactly what to get my buddy. My buddy Raj loves Fireball. He was in town last week for the Cleveland Comedy Festival, and he paid for 31 shots of Fireball at one bar. He didn't do all of them. He was buying them for all the comics, but that's so.
How much did that run in?
I didn't get the final.
At least $32.
Right. One cheap.
Fireball keg at Costco is $69.99. They're like little pony kegs.
You can buy that and take it on vacation with you for all your friends that aren't going to drink it.
That's right. I still have all those little bottles that it turns out aren't real Fireball. There's like colored whiskey or something.
That's what Fireball is.
Well, but it not their recipe. You know what I mean? Like they found out that the little tiny Fireball bottles didn't actually have Fireball in them. They were like knockoff or something. That was a whole big controversy in the Fireball community about a year ago. But Costco, and they can barely keep these in stock. Probably not because people love Fireball, but because it's kind of a goof. Drop $70 and you put a keg of Fireball in your basement.
Right.
1.3 gallons, which will give you 115 shots. It has 3 separate spouts on the keg. So if you're having a party, multiple people, maybe we'll do this for our holiday party this year. I'll just get one of these Fireball kegs and then see what happens there. But I thought it was a goof when somebody sent it to me. I'm like, I haven't been in a Costco in a long time, but apparently they're selling these. By state, it varies, by the way. Like when I lived in Pennsylvania, they still think it's the 1500s. Like in PA, that's one of like the Commonwealth states.
Yeah.
You can't buy any booze in Costco. So, and there are other states that will let you buy whatever. They stock whatever at Costco. And like in some states, you don't even have to have a Costco membership to walk in and buy booze from a Costco. Like if you go to Kentucky, they'll let you do that. Hey, Woody.
Alan.
Yeah?
Get lucky in Kentucky.
Damn.
Hey, you guys are talking about D-Picks and printer ink and the exorbitant amount that ink costs and how they kind of like rob you this way or that way. But the reason why I'm calling is like prior to the internet, the actual photographs of women's boobs versus photographs of guys' wangs, the number has been like
boobs.
99.9%, 99.999% to 1%.
Boobs.
You see where I'm going?
Well, I mean, the inventors of the internet were all nerds who couldn't get laid. So, yeah, I mean, it was going to be boobs. I mean, it was a long time before, you know, that was all kind of a gay-friendly space where you didn't have to hide in the corners of the internet to. So, for straight young men, it was a wonderland. But I'm sure you could still find wieners if you knew where to look for them. I mean, I wasn't looking for wieners. I was barely looking for boobs. I mean, I was a grown man by the time all this stuff happened. I could see boobs in real life.
You never stumbled upon an unsolicited wiener?
Right.
Unsolicited wiener. I'm playing him on 2 Hours to Midnight Saturday. No, I don't recall doing that. I mean, I had a really good friend who's gay and was like a hacker or something. So he would be like, hey, look at this. Like, he knew where to find stuff, but
You never got a straight friend that sent you a picture that was like, hey, man, I just shaved. Can you just tell me if this looks okay?
no, that's not a straight thing that guys do
Bro,
that I know of.
I just need your expertise. I'm about to send this. I just want to know if it's a good pic.
No, because again, I didn't grow up with people sending D pics.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
right.
when I was in college,
I had to draw it.
the Mac Lab, we had those Mac Classics, right? So I was in my 30s when all this stuff was blowing up, and I wasn't sending D pics. So it wasn't even on my radar. I wouldn't have had a friend. I think one time I was in a group chat where a buddy of mine sent his dong to the group, and it was like,
Just as a joke.
oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, all right. Cool, bro. I mean, but that was as a goof, not as like a rate my hog type. We weren't all typing back, between
Good
1 and
one,
10.
yeah.
Yeah, hey, good. Yeah.
Oh, nice girth.
Is that an elbow?
Thank you, Woody. Elbow, God, what, peyronie's? That's the weenus you're thinking of, not the penis.
Sure.
Easily able.
Whoa, what's that?
I was just wondering, I know you can see the text message phone numbers and see repeat customers on there. I was just kind of wondering if you're able to see repeat customers on the iHeartRadio app talkback button. Hate the show. Love you. Bye.
Can I see phone numbers on the talkback button? No.
You don't see phone numbers.
Oh,
but
yeah, I
you
see phone numbers. I can see phone numbers.
Like, you see who sent it. Yeah.
No, I don't see that. I'll sometimes
Okay.
if they
they, like,
put their
log
name in,
in,
yeah.
yeah.
But usually no. I may see an email. Sometimes I'll see a phone number. But I don't traditionally. I don't know that I'd call people out by name anyway. So if you're asking because you're trying to stay relatively anonymous, then your secret is safe with me. Yeah, somebody sent me the clip of or I stumbled on it this morning, the pilot who gave a heartwarming farewell speech after 32 years of service on American Airlines. There was a flight to Chicago, and he wanted to let everybody know, hey, I've got a great crew and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, God, 32 years, that's a long time. That's quite a career. And then I go, that's 1991. Like, I keep forgetting
Like, that's when you started.
30 years. 1991. But I guess it's better than somebody getting on the plane and singing or the flight attendant trying to make jokes. But he was capping off a career by throwing out a tear-jerker over the PA.
If I get a little emotional, please forgive me. First of all, I'd like to take just a few moments of your time before we take off to Chicago tonight. And I'd like to acknowledge a group of very important people to me that are on board the flights. They're the majority of my family who have come along with me on my retirement flight. Thank you all for coming along with me tonight and celebrating this very memorable time in my life. I love all of you.
I'd be like, can we get someone that's less emotional to fly this plane? I don't know
I
if
was
he's
going
in
to
that
say, you
state
want a
of
guy who's
mind.
been crying to then fly the plane? I mean, once you get it up in the air, does its,
Do they give free drinks? I feel like that would be a celebratory occasion where they would pass out, champagne or like shots or something.
No, man, if his Spirit, he had to pay to make that announcement.
This is American Airlines, but you're
Okay.
not far off. I think most airlines are now looking at Spirit going, they had the right idea all along. Yeah, I think I'd want somebody who maybe was a little less emotional.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Also, get to the end of the flight.
attention to C-29F. We've got one person on the plane today. It's his private plane. He's a lottery-winning douchebag who nobody wants to talk to.
Just have him fly the plane.
I'd like to say goodbye to my wife and my children.
That's when I murdered me and Pound Cake.
Because you're a hater.
And
you
I
can't
would do it
stand-
again.
You can't stand to have someone else to be happy and living a fruitful life.
Good pun. I've got to take a break here. If you want to send a text, 35192, I will have another $1,000 for you at 4:30. Next keyword to get a grand from the Buzzard Bookie. And if you want to go to that Queensryche show, they're on tour with Armored Saint, and they'll be here in the spring. I'll hand those off coming back.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio Alter Ego 2024.
Presented by Capital One.
Sold out. Now your only way in is to win.
Don't miss Paramore.
The 1975.
The Black Keys.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Bush. Sum 41.
Yellow Card.
Lovely the Band.
The Last Dinner Party.
Win your way
to our sold-out iHeartRadio Alter Ego
2024. Presented by Capital One.
Happening